Hey guys, it's Nicole. I'm back with another video, and I thought that I would talk about something different today. Today I'm going to talk about my recent solo vacation to New York City. So this was my first solo vacation, and I had been wanting to take it for a long time, honestly. Without getting too personal, it was kind of like a redemption trip because the last time I was there, I couldn't really do anything. And there was just so much I wanted to actually like do and have fun with. And I just felt like I needed to do it myself, and I planned for it. I saved up the money for it, and I finally went. And yes, I went in February, which is a very cold time to go. And I know most people would probably go, that's miserable. Why would you do that? I personally love the cold. I grew up in a very hot, humid climate, and there's no seasons. So I never get to experience like actual seasons. So I really, really wanted to go when it was cold. Like, I've been to other places like while it's cold. Like, I saw snow like once when I was like 4, but I hadn't actually seen snow fall, and I have never really spent a lot of time like in a cold climate. So I went for 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and it was so much fun. I could not recommend solo traveling more. I will say though that if you are the kind of person that like needs to have someone to talk to like every minute of the day, then yeah, it's probably not for you, because a lot of the things I did definitely are activities that could be for like a group of 2 or more. Like, I went to museums, and I went ice skating, and I went just walking around like different stores and different places. And that definitely can be like fun as like a group activity, but personally I also just found it really fun just to do by myself. And I'll say that because it's fun to do things with other people, but it's also really fun to do things and do exactly what you want. Like, I could go literally anywhere I wanted to go, and the best part is I could leave whenever I wanted to leave. Like, if I was ready to go, like I was just done, I was just like, I'm just gonna go because I can. Like, I don't have to confer with someone and be like, oh, I want to go, and it's like, oh, but I want to stay. Like, I don't have to deal with that. I could just go. So that was kind of great about that, honestly. So in case I haven't mentioned it before, I live in Florida in the United States. So I flew to New York early Tuesday morning, and thankfully it's all in the same like time zone, so I didn't have to deal with jet lag or anything like that. And that Tuesday, I kind of didn't plan anything specific. Like, I didn't say like, oh, I was going to buy tickets ahead of time for anything, because like I didn't know how things would go. I have been hearing so much lately about flights getting delayed or even just canceled, and I was like, I don't want to plan to like go to the Met or something like that day that I'm supposed to arrive in New York and like have to cancel all my plans and be stressed about it because my flight got delayed or canceled. Thankfully that did not happen. I had no issues flying there. There was a little bit of turbulence like as we flew into, like as we were arriving, but that was just because the winds were really crazy. They had been crazy like the week before, and like they were still crazy like the week that I got there. So it was just the winds that made it a little bit of turbulence, but it was honestly like a quick, safe, easy flight. And then once I got myself settled in my hotel room, I was honestly tired, but also starving. So I went and got some food, and I would like, and so this is like my tip, like if you're traveling alone, especially if you're going to like a really busy city, the best way, in my opinion, to kind of do stuff, especially to find stuff, is to like hang out in wherever you're staying. I stayed in a hotel, and look on your maps like from where you are to kind of explore that way. And I say that for a couple of reasons. The first reason is New York City is like a very obviously touristy place, but it's also a place where like a lot of people live, and they're just trying to get through their day. They're just trying to walk through the cities and get to their jobs, get to their home, get to wherever. And there's a lot of people. It's a very congested city. So when you're a tourist walking around, it's kind of, I don't want to say disrespectful, but like almost a little bit, to just kind of be just casually strolling along in people's way, like, oh, look at that. Like, it's kind of rude a little. And I try to travel and be like respectful to anyone who lives in the place that I'm visiting. So looking that stuff up ahead of time to be like, even it was still spontaneous because like I didn't plan anything ahead of time for that Tuesday when I got to New York. So like I just went on my maps and found stuff to do on the maps, and then I would just go there, you know? So it was still like in a way spontaneous, but it was in a way just a little bit more respectful to the people that live there. I would also recommend doing this, especially if you're traveling alone and especially if you're a woman, because the last thing you want to be doing when you're out by yourself is look like you're lost or look like you're trying to find something, like you're not sure. Like, the best way to keep yourself safe as a woman is to walk like you know where you're going with a purpose all the time. Because I don't want to say like, I don't want to act like we're victim blaming here, that like, oh, like if you do that and you get attacked or mugged or something, like it's your fault. Like, no, it's not your fault. But like at the same time, we have to take precautions just because that's the world we live in. And, you know, if you look like you have a purpose, like somewhere you're going to, like people are less likely to make you a target. I hate to say that, but it's true, because it looks like, oh, she has somewhere important to go. Like people are expecting her. If you look like a tourist and you look like you're, you know, lost or something, like that makes you more of a target. And it just does. It's awful, but it does. So personally, that's what I did for all of my activities that I didn't plan ahead of time, because I planned a lot of stuff, but I also left a lot of windows open for me to just kind of explore and have fun and go on like spontaneous adventures, because that's the kind of person I am. I like to do a little bit of both. And so that worked out perfectly for me, because I found a restaurant to go get some food, and then I found a bookshop because come on, like, you know my channel. So the bookshop I actually went to was really close to my hotel, and I got 3 things. It's called the Drama Bookshop. It's in Times Square, or at least like a couple of blocks from Times Square. And the store is just completely full of plays, musicals, like that's it. Like they don't really sell other kinds of like books there. I mean, there were like books like about playwrights, about, you know, musical writers, like about all of that, like composers and all that stuff. Like there were books about that, but that's it. It's called the Drama Bookshop for a reason. So of course I had to go in there. Because in case I've never mentioned it before, I don't know if I talk about myself personally on my channel a lot, but I'm an actor. I actually majored in theater when I went to college, so it's very up my alley, and so I had to go in, of course. So I got 3 things. I got 3 plays. Well, 2 of them are plays, and 1 is a collection of plays. So this one I already read. I'm not going to go into it crazy because this video is about my trip, not the books. But I am going to say what I bought because I have a stack of books here that, yes, I did buy from New York, and yes, I flew back with me. So this play I already read when I got back. So regretfully, So the Birds Are. And it's really, really good. I have no words. It's just, I loved it. Definitely loved it. Definitely recommend. This is the other play I got called The Flick. I haven't read this yet. It's, I want to say next in my pile because I'm currently in the middle of another book. Yes, I have a lot of books that I read, and yes, I have a lot in my pile. And then this is the collection of plays I got. So the playwright is Claire Barron, and so it's just a collection of her plays, and I thought that they all sounded really interesting, so I have several books that are just collections of plays, so I figured it would fit really well into my book collection itself. And I went there, and then I kind of called it a day after that. You know, I got some food and just took it back to my hotel room because I was exhausted from traveling, from just being in a new city, especially being in a new climate, because it was below freezing there. And I'm from Florida, so it's never below freezing here. And I just kind of wanted to give myself a night to adjust. So I went to bed early that night. And then the next day was Wednesday. I got up early, went to the Museum of Natural History. I had actually never been there before, even though I've been to New York several times in my life, just never there. And it was cool. It was really, really cool. Personally, I was a little bit disturbed by some of the exhibits because they were like animals, and obviously most likely they're taxidermied animals, and it just disturbs me. And like, I understand the point of the educational purpose, but it just disturbs me. So I got through the museum a little bit faster than I think most people would, because I skipped most of that. But they do have a cool like Earth and Space exhibit, and they had some like cool exhibits with like cultures and stuff. I couldn't help but think the entire time I was there, like, how much of this is stolen and how much of this is actually like given to the museum. So you just can't help that stuff when you know too much about everything. But since I finished up there so quickly, I had some time before, because I was meeting a friend for lunch that day. So I decided to safely, it was during the day, walk around Central Park for a little bit, because it's a pretty big area, but there's, you know, trails and things you can walk along, because I've been to Central Park once before. So I walked along in Central Park, and I still had some time, and I found a little like coffee shop in like the middle of the park. I don't want to say like the middle, but like in the park. And I got myself a hot coffee, which is funny because I never drink hot coffee, but it was so cold that I'm like, it's time to drink hot coffee. And it was really good. I don't remember the name of the place. I have it somewhere, but I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But basically, if you look for a coffee shop in the middle of Central Park, I'm sure you'll find it, because there's only so many places. And then I met a friend of mine for lunch, and that was so much fun, getting to see someone I hadn't seen in a couple of years. And then after I went with her, I decided to go to the New York Public Library. Yes, a lot of my trip was centered around books. It's just it's a big part of my personality. I just love books. And the library was amazing. It's huge and gorgeous. Like, it's this really old building. Like, it's like marble and stone, and it's just like, there's carved statues. Like, it's humongous. It's like, it looks like a museum, but it's a library. And most of the library is, you know, rooms for studying and looking at books and checking out books, but they actually have a treasure room, as they call it, which is basically like a little miniature museum within the library. And this is free for the public. So you can, if you're in New York and you're looking for something free to do, I highly recommend going to the New York Public Library. It's right on Bryant Park. And they have like the coolest things there. They have the original like stuffed animals that Winnie the Pooh is based off of. They have the Gutenberg Bible. They have Charles Dickens like writing desk and chair. Like, it's pretty cool. It's a little small place, like a little room with like some stuff in it. So there's not like a lot to see, but you could definitely spend like an hour or so there. So if you're in New York and you want to do something for free, go to the New York Public Library. It's great. There is a little bit of security you have to get through, but there's no like bag requirements or anything, and it's not crazy. It's just standard, basically. So then I called it a day, also got some food and took it back to my room, because it's fun to eat out, and I do most of the time when I'm out by myself, but it's also really fun to get takeout and go back to your room and just like put on Netflix or some other streaming service, and that's what I did. So the next day was Thursday. I got up really early because I had a lot of plans for Thursday. Thursday was the day I had basically completely planned out by the hour. And I got up really early and went to the Museum of Broadway, which is in Times Square. I can't remember the exact block it's on, but it's like right there. Like, trust me, it's like near all the theaters. It's a 3-story museum that has like costumes from either original productions of musicals or revivals. And they have like the history of Broadway as you go through the museum. You start at the top and then you work your way down. And it's really cool. And they have like cool little photo op places. So I got some cool photos. And then they have a little gift shop out there afterwards. And I was looking around and I couldn't decide on anything musical specific to get, because I love so many musicals. Yes, I'm a musical theater nerd. I majored in musical theater in college. It's just to be expected. But I decided to get a book because, yes. So they had a bunch of books there, obviously relating to musicals. And this particular author also wrote another book involving musicals and playwrights and composers. But I bought this one in particular because it says women writing musicals. And so these are kind of the untold stories of women in the history of musical writing that we don't really ever hear about, that either wrote a score or wrote a musical that we've never heard about, or that we did know, but we didn't know that they were contributing to it. And so I'm very excited to read this. It is in my pile, so, you know, I'll get to it eventually. There's a lot of books to read. So that was a really fun place. I went and got lunch really quickly, and then I headed over to the Met because I wanted to go see the Met. I'd never been to the Metropolitan Museum of Art before, and I'd heard so many wonderful things, and it is bigger than the New York Public Library, so it's an enormous structure. Again, like stone, like just like columns and like everything. If you've seen Gossip Girl, you know what I'm talking about from the outside. And the inside is like, there's no time to see everything in one day. It's just impossible. Like, I saw maybe half-ish, and I was by myself, so, you know, I wasn't like with other people who were taking their time doing things. So take that with like a grain of salt. Like, I saw half-ish by myself in like half a day, so but it was incredible. They had so many historical artifacts and art and just all the really cool things. Like, they have like this entire floor dedicated to just like paintings. So they have different sections. There's a bunch of Monet, a bunch of Van Gogh, Manet, and it's incredible. Like, I can't recommend it enough. Like, I personally love looking at paintings, and I love looking at art and seeing all of that stuff, regardless of if it was from the past or from, you know, contemporary art. But I do recommend it a lot. I really, really, really think it's worth going to. I don't think the tickets were that expensive, and they do have like a gift shop that you can get some stuff in, and I got some stuff for me, some stuff for my family, because, you know. So I definitely recommend the Met. It was really, really fun. And then I had tickets, or a ticket, to go see a Broadway show that night. So I went back to my hotel, like quickly ate something, and then like got changed, and I went to see Moulin Rouge at the Al Hirschfeld Theater, and it was incredible. I can't recommend that enough either. It was so good, and I had never seen Moulin Rouge before. Yes, I'm a musical theater nerd, but I still don't know everything. Like, I knew the musical, I kind of knew what it was about, but like I'd never actually seen it before, and it was so good. It was so good. It's one of those musicals where it's like there's like farce, and then there's like love and romance and tension, and it's if you're from Europe, I think you'll like it, because it's very like it's like a farce, you know, like, I don't know how to explain. It's very funny, and but at the same time there is romance, and then there is tension, so it's a lot all in one show. And there's really cool costumes, and the music is really cool, so it's a really, really great show. I had a wonderful time seeing that, honestly. And of course I got merch because I was in New York on a solo trip and I had budgeted for it. So yes, I got myself a Moulin Rouge jacket and blanket because I'm a big like blanket person. Like, some people are pillow people. I'm a blanket person. I just have like a bunch of blankets. Like, you could get me a blanket as a gift all the time and I would be happy, as long as it's really soft, because it needs to be like an actual soft blanket. Like, don't give me something like rough or coarse. But it's one of my favorite things. So I did get a blanket because I had to. And then it was pretty late, so I turned in. And then Friday, I left for exploring Soho, because I'd never been to Soho before either. And there were several places I wanted to go to. I wanted to go see the Carrie Bradshaw apartment, which I did. And it was so great because I believe there's people living there like now, because it's an actual apartment building. And they've, you know, put up like a chain so that tourists can't just go up to the door, which is smart. And then they have like a box on the railing on the side, and it's like a donation box, like for their local like cat rescue groups, or like cat hospitals, or you know, foster programs for cats or stuff like that. And I'm an animal lover, so I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I did donate money while I was there. And then I went to see the Friends apartment, because that's actually not far from the Carrie Bradshaw apartment. In case anyone doesn't know, the Carrie Bradshaw apartment, that's from Sex and the City, the TV show. It's the exterior of the building that they like would record and film like as like the outside of Carrie Bradshaw's apartment. And then the same thing for the Friends apartment. They actually are very close together. It's within walking distance. It's like less than 10 minutes like to walk between the two. And so I went and saw that as well. And then I also went to see the Stonewall Monument, because that was also super close by. And I do recommend going there, because the monument itself is the Stonewall Inn, which is a bar. And then they have a visitor center directly next to it. And you can go in and read the stories of the Stonewall riots, and read, you know, kind of like what's happened since then. And they have like videos playing throughout. And it's just really nice. And I got a beanie from there, actually. It's sitting right there. That's why I'm pointing to it. So I do recommend going there. It's a really nice place to visit, and it's good history to learn about too. I really recommend. And then I went to, let's see. Oh, I went to go see the original location. So this is so niche. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. But the musical Rent was written by a man who used to work at a place called the Moondance Diner. And the location of the Moondance Diner is still there, obviously, but like the building has been torn down, another building like apartments or condos there. So I went to the location just to see it because it was right there. Like, it's all in the same area. It was like less than a 10-minute walk, so I just went because I could. And then I went to this store in Soho. It's in the fashion district. So there was a clothing store in Soho that I wanted to go visit because I had been listening to this podcast that was talking about the Manhattan Well. And if you're into true crime or mysteries or anything like that, you should listen to the podcast, The Art of Crime, because it's very good. And they talk about the Manhattan Well in that episode. And basically there was a well that was built a little over 200 years ago, I think, in Manhattan. And it was never used. They built it to help the irrigation and like the water system in New York. And then they never used it and they just left it. And then after basically abandoning it, someone was murdered, and then the body was found at the bottom of the well, and the body was removed, but the well is still there. Like, it still exists in the basement of the store that's now on top of it. And of course I had to go see this, so I went to the store. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's in Soho, and it's called Kos. It's like COS. I believe it's a Swiss or Swedish like clothing like store. And I actually got a long sleeve shirt, like sweater kind of from there. Like, I just kind of liked their style, and I was like, oh, I can get like a clothing piece where the Manhattan Well is. And the Manhattan Well is actually there in the basement. So they have their men's clothing laid out in the basement, and the Manhattan Well is just there, just against the wall. It's just there. It's this giant brick well, and like red bricks, just sitting in the middle of a basement in the middle of Soho's fashion district. Like, it's pretty cool. Honestly, if you're in Soho, go check it out. I definitely worth a look around, and I liked the clothing in the store, so I did buy something while I was there. So I do recommend it a lot. And I think that was really fun for my trip. I went and got some little sweet treats from this little donut shop that I found, and then I called it a night. It was a crazy, crazy trip. I did so much walking and so much just exploring, and I had the best time. And then I flew home Saturday morning. So it was a great trip. I was excited to make a video and tell everyone about it because I really had a really, really fun time. It's probably my favorite vacation to date. Personally, I like traveling by myself, but that's also because I like spending time with myself. If you don't, then I don't know what else to say other than, yeah, you should travel with others. But I had the best time, and I am probably going to make a little short to kind of talk about like what I recommend and what I don't recommend for traveling solo, especially as a woman. It's definitely different for men. It just is. And definitely look forward to that. Or I might have already posted it because I record things in advance and then I decide when to post them based on like when things work out. So it's just all chaotic and just crazy because I have a life and do other things, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is the content I need to post, like everything. So regardless, I'm probably going to be talking about that as well, and I'm probably going to be taking more solo vacations in the future. Obviously not right now because I did spend a good amount of money in New York. Well worth it. I had the best time, had the best experiences and the best adventures, and I can't wait to go on another one. So look forward to the next time I go on a solo vacation, and I will make another video about it. I might make a video about the books that I bought. Oh, that's the other thing. I forgot. The last thing I did that Friday before I finished up in Soho was I went to a bookstore also kind of down near the Soho area. It's called the Strand Bookstore, and most people who live there or even go to NYU know about it. It's like the big popular bookstore to go to. It's amazing. I got 3 books there because it's me. So I got this one, I Who Have Never Known Men Sorry, there's like a glare from the ring light. And it looks really interesting. So I'll talk about it in another video. And then I got this one. It's called Girl, Woman, Other. And I am also very excited to read this. It looks really cool. And then I also got The Paris Library. And this is obviously historical fiction. And we all know that's definitely a genre I like as well. So those are the books I bought in New York. I am very excited to read all of them. And I will likely make videos about all of them. And yeah, that was my trip to New York, and I had the absolute best time. And if you watched this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I wanted to come on here and talk about my vacation because it was so much fun, and I hope to inspire other people to go on adventures that they've maybe been putting off. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you like my content and want to get notified when I post other videos. And then comment, like, if you've been to New York or any of the other places that I mentioned that I went to in the video, like in New York. I'd love to hear anyone else's experience, if they enjoyed it as well or not, because who knows, maybe you have a terrible opinion of New York. But yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week.